Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobes show with me, Richard Vobes, on the 7th of March, 2019. Nearly said 18 then. What's going on with me? Hello, welcome to another live Vobes show on Facebook. Had to think then. Not on YouTube. Well, we are on YouTube, but we're not live. Just so that anybody coming to YouTube for the first time and looks at it and thinks we're live, I just have to say that. But we are live now on Facebook at 8 o'clock on a Friday, the 7th of March. So if you're there at 8 o'clock on Friday, the 7th of March, do say hello. It would be nice to see you. I see the lovely Julia is there. Hello, lovely Julia. How are you? Lots of other people there. Matthew Holdsworth is turning up. Richard Suggett. Hello, Mr. Suggett. Nice to see you. Hope we're still on for tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Anne Osborne. Hello to you. Nice to see you. Ian Beddoes is also out there. Nigel Sadler. How is it going over there in Tunbridge Wells? Matthew Holdsworth. Lovely to see you too, Matthew. Kevin All. Hello, Richard. Kevin here. I've seen Kevin already today, and now I'm not seeing him, but he's seeing me. You all right, mate? Lovely to see you. Something's in the pots over here that we were looking at earlier. Get onto that in a moment. Terence Dacoum. Hello, Terence. Dave Ford. Hello, Dave. How are you? The videos were really good. Thank you so much. Everybody's loved the videos that we did recently together. We are looking forward to going to Dorset and doing some more. I think they're going to be fantastic. Who else we got? Paul Watts. Hello, Paul. Lovely to see you. Linda Kane. Good evening to you. Kevin says it's the 8th of March and not the 7th. It's the 8th of March, ladies and gentlemen. The 8th of March, not the 7th. I don't know what date it is. What date is it? It's the 8th of March. You're quite right. Probably because I didn't do a... No, I didn't do a Naked Englishman podcast this morning where normally I would get the date burned into my head. It's the 8th of March. If you're watching on the 8th of March, you're at the right time. If you're watching on the 7th of March, I don't know how you managed to watch the show before it is actually recorded. That is an impossibility. Glenn Johnson and Steve Blakey are here. Hello, guys. Hope you're well. Lovely to, I was going to say to see you, but to see your names coming up. Anyway, that's the main thing. The lovely Henry David. Hello, Henry. Says, good evening from Birmingham New Street on the Manchester Piccadilly to Bournemouth train. Are you coming back from work? What do you actually do for a living? You travel about quite a lot, don't you? Cynthia Walder. Hello, Cynthia. How are you over there in Hazelmere? The lovely Sherry, or should I say Sharitha, upstairs has tuned in. Hello! I've got the kitchen table, by the way. If you need to use the kitchen table, you can't. I've got it downstairs. I've just borrowed it. I need to get another bench sorted out. But the bench that I was using in the past, the trestle legs, are actually holding something else over there. Basically a whole load of junk, and if you think I'm going to show you it, you've got another thing coming because that side of the room is a mess. So we're not doing that. Glenn Johnson says, hello peeps. By the way, I don't know if Billy is watching as well. If Billy's watching as well, congratulations on getting your diploma. I've just seen your Facebook post where you had put your diploma of personal training. My son, my youngest son, has completed his personal training exams and is now fully trained personal trainer. So if anybody needs to know how to do 467 press-ups, give him a ring. Chris Puller, hello Chris, lovely to see you. Dean Cooper, wonderful to see you there. Laura Riddle, thank you very much for popping in. It's nice to see you. Terence Dacoum says, yes, Dave Ford, great guide in this week's walks. That's what it's all about. Trying to do my best on the basis of knocking out a video every single day, well, every working day, Monday to Friday. At the weekend, it's slightly different because you get the behind the scenes, and sometimes on a Saturday you get something if you're lucky. Tomorrow, you will be very lucky if you get anything. I have nothing planned, so there probably will be nothing. That said, though, I'm trying to up the quality as best I can from what we were doing last year, where it was just me and a gimbal. But I did have a very nice email from somebody who very much liked the old gimbal method because they felt they were coming on a walk with me. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm still doing a bit of both, so that's how we do it. Dean Cooper says, good evening, Richard, and everybody else. Good evening to you, sir. Fiona Cooper is also out there. Good evening to you. He's going, back to Buckinghamshire, where he lives. This is Henry David Allam. Hello, Henry. Andrew Stevens Jones. Hello, good evening, Richard. Love your shows. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. It's nice to know somebody out there enjoys the shows, which is great. Evening to Billy and girlfriend, says Kevin. Sharifa, we call her, but she could be called all sorts of things. I hear different names because she's not from this country. She has a complicated heritage, shall we say. I probably now just put my foot in it. Sorry about that. Hooray, as opposed to hooray for Billy. Hooray, uranium for Billy, says Nigel Sadler. Well done to your son. Thank you very much. I'm very proud of him. He's a good lad. He's worked very hard over that. The all the personal training, the practical stuff, no problem at all. It was just the cerebral, the sort of learning the long, complicated terms that was very hard. But he got his head round it. He managed to do it. He's got the diploma to prove it. So, I'm very proud. It's something worth having. May be difficult, but it's worth going for. So that's great. Congratulations, says Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. Henry says, I work for a holiday. Oh, that's why you're all over the place. I work for a holiday company called Rail Tours, although I'm involved with various other rail tour operations. Oh, Rail Tours. A holiday company. Oh, that's interesting. What sort of... So they do holidays on rails, do they? It's like Meals on Wheels, holidays on rails. That sounds great. Nikki Jess has joined. Hello, Nikki. Emily Champion has joined. Hello, Emily. Lovely to see you both. Dave Ford is saying Logan is tucked up for bed, getting ready for Crufts tomorrow. Oh, well, we wish him well. Is he doing discipline again? Is that his thing, to be the best disciplined dog at Crufts? That would be marvellous. Let's hope he's going to be good at that. Mystery sorted at last, says Robert Croser. Hello, Robert. I didn't see you sneak in. Came in through the back door. Yes, I've heard about you people up there in Cumbria. Matthew Holdsworth says, put your foot in it. No! I try not to, anyway. Kevin All says, but how do you spell her name, Sharifa? Well, it's Cherth. It's either IA or A. Can't remember now without looking at it. Probably IA, Sharifa. No, yeah, something like that. Don't ask. Don't. I've only known her a couple of years, or a year and nearly 2 years, or something like that. How am I supposed to know somebody's name? Took me years. It took me at least 5 years to spell my own name. Starting from naught, obviously. Starting from naught. Glenn Johnson is chatting away about going to Crufts. Are you going to have your putting on display at Crufts? That would be lovely. Nikki Jess is saying hello. Dave Baker's joined. Thank you very much, Dave. Robert Croser says sheep. Sheep? Bah! What? Oh, up in Cumbria. Do you have a lot of sheep? Is that what you have? Emily Champion says, I'm tucked up in bed too. In bed at this time, Emily? For goodness, are you feeling rough? Has it been a hard week? Did you have World Book Week at your school, Emily? Because I was away 2 days, and on Thursday I was doing World Book Day. Everybody dressed up as a book character. A couple of people sort of got that a bit wrong. Some of the kids, they dressed up as film characters. I think somebody turned up as, what's his name, Squarepants, Roger, no, what's his name, Roger something Square, Johnny Sponge Squarepants, anyway, whatever his name is, somebody turned up as him. Richard Suggett says, took me ages to learn your name too, Richard. Well, yes, because our names are very complicated. They're very hard, aren't they? They're quite rich in different letters at the beginning, but they're very hard towards the end, if you ask me. Matthew Holdsworth, he says, but do you call your children by the wrong names, Richard? My two, Josh and Ben, are often called Bosch and Jen. Oh, Bosch. Here, Bosch. Is that the German one? Have you got a little German one there? Here, you, Bosch. Hans. Hans. Do the dishes, Hans. That's, well, hands that do dishes. It's like fairies' golden wishes. Mild green fairy liquid. I wonder how many fairies they have to scrunch up to make that green gooey liquid that they use. Quite a lot, I should think. Where do they get them from? Must be a fairy squishing manufacturing plant somewhere in the world. Oh, SpongeBob. Thank you, Matthew. SpongeBob. It's been a long time since I've watched those sort of children's TV programmes. Thank the Lord. And I haven't had to... But there was a time when my kids were glued to everything. Mufti, the Vampire Slayer. Well, they used to watch Mufti quite a lot. And what was the other one? The one in the hospital drama that was always there. Scrubs. That's the one. Scrubs. So that's all. Adrian Lidgett. Hello, Adrian. Lovely to see you. How's the cows? That's a nice greeting, isn't it? How's your old cow, Adrian? Yeah, she's all right, thanks. Oh, good. I'm ever so pleased. Have you lost any? Have they got out? Have they been roaming around anywhere interesting? The other day I was driving to... where was I going? I was going somewhere, obviously, through the back roads towards Lisway, when I was going to Dunkton. I was on my way to Dunkton to do a video with John Mays, and I went past Thacombe, and I went through West Chiltington, and there's a bit on West Chiltington where you can get back into, it's all 30 mile an hour, you know, and you're sort of crawling along, and then there's a bit where it's a national speed limit, and I put my foot down, as you do, boom, like this, only to, woo, careful boy, careful, sheep had got out. Sheep had got out, got through the hedge and onto the edge of the road, having a nibble of the pavement. It's very nice, actually. I think it was vanilla-flavoured pavement. They quite like that. And one of them was looking up in the sky, sort of talking to the clouds as if it was his mum and dad, which is an easy mistake for a sheep to make, isn't it? You know, wafting over there in the sky, going, Mum, Mum, how do you fly? How is it you fly in the sky like a big, big tie? Fairy farm, says Glenn. Now, that's what everybody needs, a nice fairy farm. Linda Kane says, I thought it was Hans Judicious. Hans that judicious. Yes. Hands that judicious, silence in court. Send him down. 5 years stiff sentence. That's what I would give. Seb's the latest addition and he's doing fine, says Adrian. Oh, well, we're all... Now, what is Seb? What kind of cow is Seb? Is that a male cow? Well, I suppose a cow. Is it a cow is as in a lady cow with udders? The udders have got them, so she might have them as well. Is she one of those dark black ones that you've got? Oh, wait a minute. They were the bulls, weren't they? Or is she out the back in this weather? Is she freezing? Is she freezing cold? Dunkton, isn't that a kids' programme, says Robert Croser. Dunkton? I don't... There's a village. I've made a video about a village, a little village. Tiny, tiny little village. And then there's this huge hill, which is where I went to look for the lime kilns, if anyone was that bothered about the videos I make. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for those people who have made the odd comment on, well, even a reasonable comment on the videos. I was getting a bit worried because I bung up a video every day and I noticed that people who, you know, don't post much in the group, they get loads of comments. And then when I put a video up every day. And it's like, oh, Richard's put up another bloody video. Yeah, we like it, Richard. Yeah, another video looking at something. Yeah. Out the way. We've got other people to look at. I'm only kidding. Matthew Holdsworth says, that's Plumpton. There's a kids' book called Dunkton Wood. Oh, yes, isn't that Dunkton Wood? They nicked the name, I believe, from Dunkton down in West Sussex, but it's based in somewhere in Oxfordshire. I wonder why. So that would be good. Seb's a boy's name, so he's a boy and is as black as you're at. One moment. This hat is as black as this hat, is he? Well, at least he likes a newspaper, doesn't he? Because he's well read. Da-da-da-da-da-dun. Hey. Thanks, folks. Keep sending the jokes this way and I'll read them out as best I can. That's because we watch on YouTube versus... Oh, that's because we watch on YouTube versus Facebook. Oh, do you? Is it interesting? So who actually watches the stuff? Is it any... Should I carry on posting them on Facebook? I mean, it's such a faff. It's such a faff putting them onto Facebook. It's so easy on YouTube, but it's a faff on Facebook. Especially then you've got to do all this sharing business. I mean, I will carry on, of course. But it's interesting how many people actually then go and watch it on YouTube. I think the quality is better on YouTube, personally, but who knows? There's a Plumpton near me, says Robert Croser. Is there? There's a Plumpton down here, actually. We have a Plumpton too. A lot of large people around in Plumpton. I don't know whether it's the plums at Plumpton and get rather plump, but if they listen to me, they get the hump. That's probably quite good. Your videos are still very much appreciated and admired, says David Keel. Thank you very much. You're very kind. I do try to keep the, We did a good one today. Monsieur Le Hall and I, two old duffers, went round a church. I know it's another church. I know it's another church. But this one was a particularly interesting one. You'll see it on Monday. But talking about that, we found in the grounds of said church some interesting things. Can anyone identify this? It fell off a tree, not onto my head. I wasn't Isaac Newton. Can anyone identify this? Came off a tree. It's either the fruit or the seed or something of one of the trees. It's quite bizarre. And then there's these, which I've realised, looking at this, is the outer edge of this. Kevin, I've realised what these bits are. These, Kevin, that we wondered what the hell they were. They've come off these, obviously, look. They were round on here. Don't know if you can see this. And they've come off. So these are like, I don't know whether these are individual seeds from something. Somebody will identify them. I think they must be from a fir tree of some description. Seeds of a fir tree. And in the middle, Kevin had one of these, and all the sap came out. And he got sticky fingers. At least that's what he told me, it was the sap. May have just been very excited to see me, but there we are, that can happen. We also found, ladies and gentlemen, a whole load of conkers. And they were in moss. On the ground, there was a lot of moss. And there were a lot of conkers now in February, in March even. And they were germinating. And this little root, this little sort of, what do you call it? The leg root came out. Where's a good one to look at? I'm not going to pull them out because I have potted them today. I have potted them, taken them home, potted them. Got water coming out the bottom of them. Potted them and watered them. And now they're in there. They'll just put them in here to show you. Got them in a baking tray at the moment. I bought these brand new pots with Monsieur Lequesne. And there's five germinated conkers. I know you think that's bonkers, but we're going to have nice conker trees. Horse chestnuts they are. So there we are. I like your film. Oh, he's read that. Oh, Adrian says, I like your films, Richard. Keep doing them. I will do my utmost. Hope to come back to Biddenden and finish off some more stuff up there later on. What else have we got? Hang on, I'll just go back, see. Wasn't it Crumpton or something like Trumpton? Are you thinking about Trumpton? Trumpton? Does your video... Oh, yes, that's it. Is that a purple jumper you've got on, says Kevin Hall. Do you know, it is a purple jumper. I was out purchasing some clothes the other day, as you do. I'm a bloke, so I do it every 5 years. I go out, buy a handful of clothes. I don't linger in the shops like, a lot of people do. Straight in. Yep, that'll do. Yep, no, that's fine. Yep. Anybody looking? No, right, in the bag. Quick, out. Every 5 years I go in and quickly find some clothes. And, it's a purple one. I like that jumper. It suits it. You see, the thing is, the lovely Julia has been unable to be in all the films as much as she was this year at the moment, for complicated reasons. And so by wearing it, I'm sort of representing not only myself, but I'm also representing the lovely Julia, you see. It makes perfect sense. Obviously, when Julia's in a film, I can't wear this because we'll look like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, because that's her colour. So I'll go back to my burgundy. I like my burgundy. It's quite nice. Not the drink, the colour, you understand. Linda Kane says, just started watching on YouTube. Thought you'd prefer that we did. I don't mind which way you watch, but I think you get a better experience on the tube reviews. That's my theory. Stuart Douch has joined, by the way, so best behaviour in case your knuckles get wrapped. Was he shouting again? Who? What? Kevin? Hello, Richard. Kevin here. No, he wasn't. He bought me lunch. I'm going to be nice to him today. He bought me lunch. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he bought me ham, egg and chips and hot chocolate and a cup of tea. It was lovely. It was lovely. And he made me a coffee at his place, and he did all the driving, and he did all the speaking. In fact, I just slept in the back of his van. He did all the filming and the editing and everything. So it was quite useful. Every now and again, he just said, "Oh, Richard, just nod and smile." I did, and the video will be out next on Monday. So you better judge it, won't you? So that'd be good. Glenn Johnson says, I like churches. Yes, well, I like churches. It's nice, but I don't want to put too many churches all in a row. They're not dominoes, you see. Is it a gale? A gall? Oh, is it a gall? Oh, is it a gall? I don't know what it is. Is it a gall? It's like a rose, and these, what I would call wooden petals, they're like wood, but they're not wood, but they've got that woody quality. They obviously unwrap, you see, and drop off. I think I think these bits are seeds. They make, or maybe not. I don't know. I thought the seed was in there, and this was to help them fly, but I have no idea. Somebody somewhere will understand. Kevin's going, oh yes. Nobody's shot him, I think. I don't know who you're talking about there. Matthew says, are the oak trees doing well? The oak trees, yeah, they're in the other room. They are doing well. They've probably grown about 2 millimetres. Well, no, actually, they've probably grown about 1 centimetre since we last looked at them. I did think about bringing them in, but I don't like to disturb them too much. They were reading a book at the moment. Well, they were leafing through a book anyway. So they were enjoying that. I said, would you want to come in the other room? They said, oh, leaf it out, mate. So I said, all right, then. They didn't want to come in because they thought I was barking mad. So obviously, and not only that, they also thought I was potty. So I thought I'd just leave them out there on the shelf, on the sill, the windowsill, where they can, enjoy the sunshine. Not that we've had a lot of sunshine, but that's what they're doing. So that's all nice. Linda Kane says, so do I. Cold Waltham today. It was cold Waltham, wasn't it? Oh, dear. I tell you, we were up Waltham yesterday. You were cold Waltham today. Tomorrow, it'll be shiver Waltham, I suspect. There's a lot of talking going on in between each other. Let's pry in to see what people are saying, seeing as there's no material for me to talk about. Nigel Sadler is replying to Richard Suggett and saying, is that a euphemism or is he really growing radishes? I am actually growing radishes as well, actually. Red ones this year, thank you. Now, replying to Glenn is replying to himself and saying, Glenn Johnson, it's still in there, or was the last time I camped there. I'm not quite sure what he's talking about. Is it Glenn? Is there another Glenn in there? Glenn Campbell? Oh no, Glenn Campbell's. He makes soups, doesn't he? Also replying to Glenn, Linda Kane's. Oh, that was the Cold Waltham business. Right, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just prying in on all your in conversations. Sorry, all. Dinner calls. See you later. Oh, bye. Bye. He's snubbing us again. Dave Ford says ham, egg and chips a bit more high class than the bacon and egg bap from the roadside cafe on Monday. I have to say, Mr. Hall did know how to look after me. He did. He certainly did. He said, would you like to come back for a tipple? I said, what kind of tipple? He said, oh, nice whiskey and soda. I said, oh, no, I'm driving. He said, don't worry about that. Have one for the road. So I gave my glass to the road, and the road sucked it up. Lovely. It looked very nice on the tarmac. But no, I didn't really stay for a tipple. Of course I didn't. He's not that sort of bloke. Robert Croser says, that's handy. I need someone to do the stairs. If Kevin Hall is free, I'm not paying time travel, though. Ah, that's a shame. Travel time even. It'd be better if you could do time travel. You could get him to do it in the future, so that it's already done. Yeah, that'll be the way in the future, that'll be how things would be done. You will go and, you say, oh, yes, I need to have my house decorated, please. And you'll talk to the time-travelling painter and decorator. And the time-travelling painter or decorator will go, yeah, that's no problem. And they'll agree a fee. You pay the fee, and actually that you go home and it's already done. And you go, wait, you've done nothing. It's been like this since I moved in. It says, oh, well, I went back in time before you actually bought the house, and I did everything you said. Well, I didn't even notice. Now it looks shabby. Would you like me to do it again? There'll be another fee. Thank you very much. This is how you make your money. And then you go, I went back again to the time just before you bought the house, and I put another coat of paint on. Yeah, well, wait, hang on. That's twice you've done it before. Yeah, well, it didn't look like it needed it the second time I went back before you bought the house. But since you hadn't moved in yet, and actually the kids have drawn things all over it, what you really want me to do is to go back and do it yesterday. Ah, that would be the way to do it. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Robert Crosser says, not as bloody cold as it is up here. You don't know you're born, says Robert Crosser. I'm not coming up north now then. Thank you. I'm going to stay here in the warm. I can't go up north and get cold. For goodness sake, what do you think I am? I've got no hair. I've got a hat, though, actually. It's all right, I have got a hat. I could do that. Linda Kane is also replying to Glenn. There's a lot of secret messages going on. She says, that must have been me. It appeared as I was replying as Kevin. Well, I see. Glenn Johnson says, you're allowed in our conversations. You're allowed in our conversations, Mr. Vogue. Oh, am I? That's not, well, I'm enjoying speculating on what what is written between the lines. That's what I'm speculating. Emily's going, oh no. Glenn Johnson is saying, bloody women on Women's Day. What is it? What, Women's Day? Is it Women's Day? Right, let's get on to something a bit more interesting. Henry David Allen says, I was driving the other day. Oh, yeah. A policeman pulled me over because one of my tyres was a bit flat. Lucky I had a foot pump in the boot. So I knocked him out with that and drove off. Good for you. Always useful to get one of those and wallop. He didn't know what hit him. I expect he was a bit inflated by that, was he? Yeah. Oh, dear. Hang on. That tea is stone cold. You'll get acclimatised, Richard Vobes. Bring the comedy hat. Yes, I will. Don't panic. I'm coming up. There is a vague chance. Don't count your chickens, but there's a vague chance that the lovely Julia may be coming up as well. We don't know for sure yet. She's rearranging a few things. It may be possible. So you better be on your best behaviour if she does, because if she comes up there, I want no mucking about. Which will be good. It will be nice, though. I'm looking forward to... Oh, I meant to show you something. Hang on. I'm going to go to the other room because I want to show you this. Talk to the conker for a moment. I'll put him down here by the microphone. Can you see that? There he is. Just talk to the conker. I'll be straight back. I want to show you this. Hold on. I want to show them it. Do you really? Yes, I do. Oh, that's nice. Lovely. Right, coming back now. He's back. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. I expect you got more sense out of the conker than you did me. Here we go, look. In preparation for the great tour up north, I've got this. Babcock's Wall. Babcock? Oh, no, sorry. Adrian's Wall. So I'm going to be prepared. I'll know everything about Adrian's Wall. Which is the best bit of Hadrian's Wall, Robert Crowser? We go. Look, that's how much it cost me as well. It cost me a pretty penny. That is a pretty penny, isn't it? Pretty penny, pretty penny. What? Polly put the kettle on. What? That apparently is David Breeze. There he is, David Breeze. It says that must be him. I think David Breeze is the... There's a bit of the wall. You see, look, I don't even have to actually go there now because there's a bit of the wall. Huh. Funny, isn't it? I'll read you a bit of the introduction just to kill time. Hadrian's Wall is the most important monument built by the Romans in Britain. It is the best-known frontier in the entire Roman Empire, and it stands today as a reminder of the past. Well, it can hardly be a reminder of the future, can it? People do say silly things. The past glories of one of the world's greatest powers. Are they as good as those Marvel men? They're supposed to be marvellous. They have superpowers. I don't believe the Romans had superpowers. For nearly 300 years, Hadrian's Wall was the northwest frontier, to boldly go where no man had gone before. Of an empire that stretched for 2,500 miles to the present-day Iraq, and south 1,500 miles to the Sahara Desert, where it's so hot that you see mirages wherever you go. Mirage, mirage. Here, mirage, put the kettle on, would you, love? Hadrian's Wall was built on the orders of Emperor Hadrian. Funny, isn't it? Who visited Britain in AD 122. As he was looking at the wall, Kevin Hall appeared in his time machine to put a quick coat of undercoat on it. Then he said, "I'll be back in time to do the gloss a little bit later." "Oh," said Adrian, "that'll be nice. What colour would you like it?" "I'll have it Roman brick, please." "No problem. There's a place in Chichester called Johnson's that do Roman brick. I will go and find it immediately. If you can get it yourself, it will be 10% cheaper. Put it on my account and it'll be even cheaper still." "Cool, blimey, Vobes," said Kevin Hall. "You're a cheeky bugger, bringing in my stuff into your show. Please will you stop doing it before I get really annoyed and bash you one." So that was the introduction to Hadrian's Wall, which is very interesting. I'm not going to drink any more of this cold tea. Apart from that bit. Right, Andy Joy has arrived. Thank you very much, Andy Joy. It's very nice. Let's have a little look in here. You'll get climate. Dean Cooper says, "Sorry for not saying much. I'm stuffing a kebab with a cold one." That's a bit like taxidermy, isn't it? Or is that kebabsidermy? Well, you're stuffing an old kebab, an old cold one, into a hot kebab. "Here, you cold thing, poor thing. Warm up in there. There." Lovely. That's very nice. Lovely Julia says, "Hello, little conker. Hello, little conker." Hello, 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 little conker. Ah, bless the little conker. Andy Joyce joined, by the way, just so you know. I may have mentioned that. And he says, "Evening all. Sorry I'm late. That's okay. No worries." Steve Blakey says, "Yes, ha 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 ha," about something. Robert Crosser says, "Between Mile Castle Inn and Twice Brewery Inn takes all the forts such as Vindolanda." That sounds like a curry. Is that not a curry? Is that not a hot curry? Vindolanda. Oh, you can have a nice Vindolanda. Oh, don't touch that bit of the wall because it'll scorch, no doubt. Vindolanda and Sycamore Gap for TLJ. Sycamore Gap. I've never heard of Sycamore Gap till somebody mentioned it in the show the other day, or put a thing on the Book of Faces, and that's the tree that grows in between the two humps. Yeah, work out what you mean. Glenn Johnson says it was built to keep the rain in Scotland. That was handy. It doesn't do it very well. We've had some of it down here. Nigel Sadler says, "Plus you've got to do a fort or two of Birdoswald." Birdoswald. That's like Birdoswald. It's like bird world, isn't it? Birdoswald being the best. "Come to Birdoswald. Birdoswald, open now. Come into our lovely fort." That's what I thought you'd do. There we are. Very easy, very easy. Nice and cheap. Lots of things to see. Come and have a look at this wall. It's nice, isn't it? Yes, Hadrian bought that. Yeah, that was he built that in 1724. And then he built that in at 1382. And then he built that in 561. He borrowed Kevin Hall's time machine. You notice they're all in different colours from Johnson & Johnson. It's very nice. John Berger has also joined. I'm not quite sure what he's joined, but he's joined. Oh, he's joined us. That's nice. Thank you. It's very lovely to see you. We have all the walls. We have all the walls in the south. We should go to America and lend them the wall. They need a wall over there, don't they? We could roll it up and ship it out brick by brick. Nigel Sadler says the best bit's the middle bit, then the right hand bit, and finally the left hand. Well, that's all of it, isn't it? If you've got the middle and then the right bit and then the left bit, that's pretty much all of it. I mean, once you've seen a bit of wall, surely that's all it is, you know. It's not like the Great Wall of China, is it? No. Although I suppose this is actually made out of brick, whereas the Great Wall of China is, as its name says, it's just China. And I wonder if the Great Wall of China is made out of bone china. That would be impressive. Perhaps it's just made out of bones, the bones of all the people who put it together. Glenn Johnson says, William the Conqueror. Which one is William the Conqueror? The one that you were talking to. Robert Croser is talking about Bird Oswald. Oh, is that what you were talking about? But Birdo, whatever it was, Bird Oswald. Oh, Bird Oswald. Is that his name? He's a right old bird, is he? Finished at 1700. What's finished at 1700? John Berger says, hey, we've already got your London Bridge. We don't need a London Wall. It's not London Wall. This is Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian, you know. He's the Roman chap. Hadrian the Roman. Maximus, Missimus, Miscatus, Titius, Flippertus, Flappertus, Nippitus, Adrian and his wall. I beseech thee, I will fight thee to the death. Oh, blimey. That's hurting my throat. I'm off tomorrow to go and see the lovely Liz Housden. And she's very kindly offered a television, big television, huge television. It's about the size of a football pitch. And I'm going to put it in here. I decided, I know what I'm going to do with it now. I'm going to put it in here. I think it'll just about fit on this wall. Connect it up, and we can show films. And when I say films, obviously I don't mean nice feature films, just the nonsense we make. But we can bung it up there. We might, I'm not saying I will, might bring the gallery back so we can project your pictures onto it, that sort of thing. Anyway, that's the only place in the house that I've got to put it, so I thought that would be an appropriate place. Linda Kane says, but it was the wrong London Bridge. Yes, you got conned, didn't you, when you bought the London Bridge? You got the wrong one. John Berger says, someone send Vobes a throat lozenge. Now, in the other room, I've got some fisherman's friends. I could go and get one of those, but I don't want to be sucking a sweet on the show. That would be very inappropriate. Get some cold tea. Yeah, I got some cold tea, plenty of that. I'm going to bring in a kettle next time, and I could make cups of tea and eat cake, and that would be nice, wouldn't it? A football what? A football what? A football what? Is that what electricians have, a football what? There are quite a few watts, don't they, out there? What have we got here? Kevin Hall, not hot but moist. All right, okay. Anyway, so yes, television coming up there. May also Mr. Suggett may be coming if he's available, and we're going to be chopping up logs, which would be nice. Liz has got some logs. We're going to bung them in Mr. Suggett's van and head home and shove the logs in the back garden and the telly up there. Don't want to get it the wrong way around. So if you tune in next time and there's a dirty great big log here, then you'll know that I've been putting bits of television onto the Essie, which probably won't be doing a lot of good in the long run, so to speak. So, yes, so that's good. Also hoping, I hadn't had a chance to sort of get Mr. Withercue pinned down, but I'm hoping that Mr. Withercue and I can head down to Cornwall and see the lovely Mark Selwood. That's, you know, when he's not up in London snogging Nicky Jess, of course, left, right and centre, when they've finished doing all that canoodling. And hopefully Mark will take the other Mark, Mr. Withercue, and I, and look at some interesting tin mines, because I believe they have a few tin mines down there. We can go and drop ourselves down a few mines and see. Maybe we could take some land with us, because I'm sure they could do with some landmines down there, tin mines. Very different sort of things, isn't it? A landmine and a tin mine. I guess a tin mine is perhaps a bit thinner and perhaps got baked beans in it. You never know. It's the power of the fart, I think, the tin mine. Yes. Lloyd Wakelin. Hello, Lloyd. How are you? Very close to you this morning. Up there in, where were we? Milan? When Kevin Hall said he was taking me to Milan, I didn't hear the D. Milan, my lord. We're going to Milan, my lord. Milan? I thought he said Milan, in Italy. I thought we were going overseas to look at some lovely Italian church. Aye, it's a riccia de Vobe. Oh, do come in and have a spaghetti as we look at a lovely Italian the fresco at the thingamy, and have some lovely Italian wine and some of them are gooseberries. They're not gooseberries. They look to me like olives. Nah, you don't like olives. Have some of the gooseberries. I'm not eating any of those gooseberries. They look like olives to me. They're non. Oh, mamma mia. Oh, Papa Pia. Sana Sia. Daughter Dia. They're not olives. You do not like olives. No. I like Popeye. I'll have a big packet of Popeye and some spinach, please. That would be lovely. Rachel Horton's in. Hello, I'm sorry, Daniel Horton's in. Hello, Daniel. It's very confusing as you have two different names. He said it twice. He's actually said it twice, because in case I didn't see it the first time. And of course, I like to speak in stereo. And I'm like the BBC. I'm full of repeats. I'm like the BBC. I'm full of repeats. Thank you. How are you? He says. Well, if you were here at the beginning, you would have found out. I'm all right, thank you. Very kind of you to ask. Kevin Hall says, Richard and I saw this early version of the Essie today. We did, didn't we? We saw this very old-fashioned stove that must have been from the Victorian era that was in this chapel that we went to. So I don't want to say too much about where we were, but it was in Milan, in Italy. And we saw this very early Essie. It was very nice. It was so warm in the chapel. God, blimey, it was so hot. We were peeling our clothes off. We were ready to sort of sit there and just snuggle up to the fire. It was lovely. Only they forgot to light it, funnily enough. A bit like me and my Essie. They didn't have enough wood. I think they were burning these things. These little, whatever you call them. So that was nice. Emily Champion says, my daughter said that apparently in Italy there is a hotel made of rubbish. Yeah, there's plenty of hotels over here that's full of rubbish. They take anybody. They let anybody into hotels over here, you know. All sorts of nonsense. Daniel Horton has got a great big smile on his face. Thank you very much, Daniel. Very kind of you. Yes, you are the BBC. I am the Vobes Broadcasting Corporation, the Vobes. I'm the VBC, in actual fact, the Vobes Broadcasting Corporation. VBC. This is VBC One, ladies and gentlemen. This is instead of the One show, it's the Vobe show. See? It's all very clever. The lovely Julia says, first Bald Explorer Group Baby coming in August. The first Bald Explorer Group Baby coming in August. Yes, if you didn't know, I'm having a baby. I've eaten so many conkers this week that I think that I shall be sprouting. Wait, they come in a big husk, don't they? And sometimes they get a bit prickly. No, that's probably not me, really. So that's really nice. That's good news, Julia. August. Do you know when in August? Is that the beginning or the end of August? When will it be? Because if it's the beginning of August, it'll be a Leo, like me. I'm a Leo. If it's the other one, what is it? They get cancer. The sign, obviously, not the disease. Cancer and then Leo. What's the one after Leo? Is it Sagittarius or something like that? Who knows their horoscopes? End of August. Who's got a birthday at the end of August? What star sign is that? Yeah, that's going to be very exciting. Will this little baby be able to come out? You say I lost the best thing that's happened to the Bald Explorer show, to have this little child. Will this little child be able to come out and point at things? We'll get more viewers. Get this purple-haired child will get a lot of. What?
This is just that's a mummy.
No, that's a tombstone.
That's a tombstone.
Yes, that's right. It's a tombstone.
That's a daddy.
Pardon?
That's a daddy.
Whoa, what's that? That's a man with a shotgun.
Oh, it's a son with a shotgun.
Yes, he's pointing because we're trespassing on his farm.
How did Tracy decide to on his farm?
Yes, it's Robert Crosser, and he's getting crosser by the minute.
Has this a drop across her, did?
Yeah, stop it.
That is a baby.
Stop it. Virgo. Oh, Virgo. You don't want a Virgo baby. Oh, yes, because my dad was Virgo. You don't want a Virgo baby. Definitely don't have a Virgo baby. Whatever you do, try and it's due on the. Oh no, the 24th. It's going to be a Virgo. You don't have it early. Nearer the time, I'll shake you a bit. You don't want a Virgo. My dad was a Virgo. Oh dear, he was a penny pinching chap. Bless him. He's up there now. But that's good news. That's very nice news. That's very nice news. Virgos are nice people, but they can be a bit introvert. And I'll tell you about Virgos. They can be very selfish. I'm talking about my father. I'm not saying every Virgo is like that, but that was some of the characteristics of my. Have him earlier. If you can get him a bit earlier, he'll be outgoing, gregarious, have a lovely mane of hair. He'll be a leader type of character. He'll be not at all egotistical. He'll be handsome. He'll be have the heart of a lion. He really will. That's what you really want to try and just manipulate it that way. That would be good. Anyway, congratulations. How lovely is that? Paul Watts is a Sorry, Paul. I've completely insulted. I was just talking about my father. I didn't know anybody was in the group was a Virgo. How was I supposed to know? What's the chances of that? That's 12 to 1, that is. That's a 1 in 12 chance. That is. And I didn't for one moment think that there would be another Virgo on this planet. I just thought, how could anyone be born under that sign? Oh dear. Is there room in there with you, boys? Virgos are very nice. Virgo, they're very nice, but I've always said, don't ever let it get said that Virgos are not nice people. Oh dear. So that would be good. Careful, Richard, says Glenn. I know I'm going to get a slap the next time I see her. Don't panic. It might be a girl, says Kevin Hall. You never know. It might be a little girl. Yes, I'm not saying it's. Did I say what it was going to be? Might be a little girl, because the little Virgo girls are very lovely. Virgo girls are nice. Emily Champion says a baby unicorn. Yes, be careful if it's got a horn on its head like that, because when it comes out, that could hurt. Especially if it misses the entrance and, pokes up a bit like the film Alien. Won't be so good, that will. So that's all very good. Kevin Hall says, that hole is getting bigger, Richard. Yes, well, I seem to have got myself into the JCB as ever, and digging further and further down. It's a bit much, isn't it? But hey ho, that's the way it goes. Yeah, it was what with the horn. It was smart, won't it? Nice imagery there. Cheers, Richard. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be great. But yeah, but we've got to get the little baby on the show, haven't we? We get a little baby cam and fix it to its head, so get it trotting about. I think if you could get it trained up on a little tricycle as quickly as possible, towing. We could sit in what are those things that those tuk things? They have a tuk things. That would be quite good. I see. Daniel, can you stop putting things on those sticker things in the comments? Do you mind? Can you stop doing that? It's a bit irritating. Dean Cooper says he's a Gemini. Oh, that's nice. Gemini, yeah, very nice. I don't know anything about Gemini, I'm afraid. More better days now than had whatever. Yeah, cool. Well, anyway, congratulate. That's brilliant news. I'm thrilled. As ever, last to know, but it's nice to know. It's not. It's none of my business, really, is it? No, I think that might explain why you've not been around for a while. But you were in today's video, aren't you? Yes, you're in today's video, which is great. And you look great. You look great. Who would know? Who would know? So that's really good. Very excited, very excited. Well, I'm hoping that you can still come up now that you're in a delicate situation. I'm hoping that you'll be able to come up north if you can still make it up north. I'll be ever so kind and I won't take the mickey, promise.
Is it your baby?
Shush. Is it your baby? Shush.
Baby.
Shut up. That'd be great fun. Yeah, she says. Anyway, let's change the subject. We haven't done what's in the box for a while, have we? And to be honest with you, I don't think there is anything in the box. Oh, I've still got the Oxo cube from last week that was in the box. I don't think we'll have that in the box anymore. We could put one of these things in the box. No, that's no good. What else could we put in the box? We've only got 10 minutes. It's hardly worth it. So, yes, so anyway, well, what do we got? We've got 9 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Only 24 people viewing. Today, you noticed I'm sitting down because I was a bit tired and I couldn't be bothered to stand up today. It's been a bit of a... I've had a long week, as you may imagine. I've been up at 5 and I've been out doing the school thing. I've been out making the videos and I appreciate all the lovely comments and stuff. I think we're doing really well. I hope we can carry on doing some more of those. Interesting. Today I had a publisher get in touch with me. Nearly forgot about this. I had a publisher get in touch with me who was very interested. He said, help, he said. This is somebody called SussexBooks.com. You can look them up. They do a whole load of all books to do with Sussex. And they said, where can we buy a copy of Tales of Old Sussex? And I thought, why are you asking me? I don't know where you buy. I said, second-hand bookshop. I said, well, I've had mine on my shelf for, I don't know, 10 years, something like that. It's 1834. It's been out of print. I suppose it's out of print. So yeah, he was very keen because he said, because I know a few people wanted to get a hold of the book, and it seems to be difficult to find. Well, you know, if it's out of print, I suppose it is difficult to find. There's a couple of books on my wish list that are very interesting that I want to buy, but they're like, some of them are so rare that people put them up at ridiculous prices. Like there's one I think is about £72 for something to do with the inns and the history of inns and things. I've got a number of books about the inns of England and stuff, but there's one. It's quite a detailed book. I can't remember exactly what it's something to do with I can't remember now. I'd have to look at the title. But the ridiculous money, something like 72 or 85 pounds, or you know, something like that. And I just think, what? This is ridiculous for a book. And I'm not interested in buying first editions. I'm not, you know, I don't buy my books for to keep them as an investment, or have them signed by the authors or anything. I just want to read them and get the facts out of them and you know, that sort of thing. Anyway, it was interesting. So he said to me, he's obviously seen my video and thought, oh, I'd like that book. Where do I get it from? And I just told him. And so, but he said, but no, that was the thing. That was the thing I was going to say was he was interested in printing it. He said that, so he obviously publishes some books himself. And he said, oh, I was interested in, perhaps I'd be interested in republishing it. If it's out of, I guess it's out of copyright because it's 80, well, it's 190, 185 years. I don't know, 134, 90. I can't work that out. I haven't got the brain to do mathematics or math, as the Americans call it. But yeah, no, so I thought that was interesting because I know a few people were interested in it. So if they do, I'll let you know. So that'd be quite interesting. I can't find anywhere, no reference online, says Linda Kane. Nigel Sadler says, you and the British Library probably have the only copies. Do you know, I need to send my books, my Splidge the Cragflinger books to the British Library. You've just reminded me. There was... I think I sent a series of my podcasts to the British Library so that I think I was approached once, many years ago, when I did my early podcasts. I think if my memory is, gosh, that you've just reminded me. I think I was approached by the British Library. I think they were trying to get DVDs or CDs, CD-ROMs with something like 10 representative podcasts of a podcast to keep in their records, so that when I'm dead and buried and people come back in the future, probably Kevin Hall in his time machine, that they can see these things. I seem to remember sending something off to the British Library. I must do that. That's very interesting. Emily Champion says ins and outs. Daniel says that there is a second-hand bookshop in Worthing. Yes, that's right, there is. Badger Books. Dean says I got into bed at 3 a.m. and up for work at 5 a.m. Good, so 2 hours of sleep. Cool, blimey. I hope you weren't driving. You need a bit more time for that. Nigel Sadler says I paid £200 for a book on Cowdrey. Why did you pay £200? You are made of money, sir. You are made of more money than sense, sir. Could you not borrow it from the library? Linda Kane says second-hand bookshops. I went to, never heard of it. West Sussex libraries don't have a copy. Tales. I assume you're talking about Tales of Old Sussex. I can't remember who. Pimlico, I think it. Pimlico Publishing rings a bell. When I say it rings a bell, I mean they don't ring bells, do they? They publish books, or did. They're probably out of business now. Nigel Parrott says publisher or author has to send a copy of everything they published. Has to. Is that a legal requirement? I think I was with the podcast, but I don't think I've actually sent Splidge and the others to the. I may have sent Splidge now. I seem to remember. It's funny you should say that, because it was only 2014. It's a very old. Nigel says that I hope it was the Hope survey of 1919. What, of Cowdrey? Well, I hope it was a good survey anyway. One of only 500 copies. Yes, well, that's what I think must be the case with this Sussex book, that it must be, a limited edition. Because you know how they put in the list of, what do they call them, subscribers? There's a list of, no, it's in the other room. It's got a list of subscribers. So I guess, these people, they all put their money in, don't they? These vicar people, they do it. I've got a number of these books by vicars. And some from Google Books is another good place to search. Google Books online, where they scan them, and I've got a number about Shrewsbury, and they've all got these. Thanks to my subscribers. Nothing changes, does it? Here am I with patrons, which is very nice. Back then, a couple of 100 years ago, people were. But it's the language. I love the language. A perambulation around the environs of Shrewsbury, and Shrewsbury, not Shrewsbury, but Shrewsbury, because I can hear them. Because they they did an audio book at the same time back then. So that was all good. Robert Crosser says I have a book on the film Hawk the Slayer. Did see it for sale for £675. Does anyone really spend that sort of money? That is bonkers. You must come up to Northants during the summer, Richard, and have a walk around the Triangular Lodge. Yes, I'd like to. And I don't know how you pronounce that, the Wyvenden New Bild. How do you pronounce that? The Lyveden... The Lyveden New Bild. All connected to Guy Fawkes. Must check them out online. Yes. Yeah, no, it'd be good. I'd love to come up and see you, Paul. It'd be great. 1834 is old for a book, says Linda Kane. It is. Well, I've got some 1800 books on my shelf. Well, I've got that one. I've got that one for one thing. Just trying to think what the other one was. I was reading one. Richard Jefferies. Have you read any by Richard Jefferies? He wrote Life in the Fields. That's one I've got. I've got a paperback version of that. He was an author that wrote later 1870s, something like that. Nigel says, I think so. When I was publisher on an international cycle magazine, the BL, what does BL stand? Oh, British Library, got very shirty if I forgot to send them a copy. Oh, I used to edit a magazine for a cine club, so don't get excited. It wasn't a particularly good magazine, called Freeze Frame. And I had to send those off to the British Library. You've just reminded me. Not on Google Books. Can't find print on demand. Crowdfunding 19th century stuff. Yes, that's right, Steve Pilfold. Crowdfunding 19th century. There's nothing new. We all think, obviously there's new things like the internet and things, but people were doing the things that we did before. So that's curious, yeah. Paul Watts says Liveden new build is Liveden new build. So I'm not very good at weirds when they use Y's instead of I's. I always think it's very tricky. The passport. Oh yes, the passport. The book you gave me, that was 1900. That was 1916. Go back another 100 years. Yeah, you're quite right, actually, Linda. That is quite old, really, when you think about it. It's not leather bound. It's not. I wish it was. You should. Hang on. Steve Pilfold says you should do an adventure to Amsterdam. Ding dong, eh? Oh, there's more. Lots of interesting history there, although you'll need a week to get through the non-EU passport control in a few weeks. Yeah, we ain't going to be leaving the blooming thing. They've messed it all up. That Mrs May has messed it. Don't get me started on Brexit, thank you. I was hoping we would be out by the 29th of March. I was hoping there we were. We'd be able to be our own sovereign country with our own oars, be able to row around wherever we wanted, making the deals as we wanted. These elites have stitched us up left, right and centre. It's been a complete travesty from the word go. And yet somehow we knew that was the way. These elites control everything. I mustn't say anything like that because you know what happened last time. As soon as I mentioned a certain person who was in the news, Facebook gave me the blue screen of death. The queue at the massive... Oh, he's still going on about it. Automatic. No, Nigel Sadler. Emily Champion. I've never been want to go... I have been to Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam and I've got to end the show now, but I have been to Amsterdam. I was working with a fellow mime artist, but she was a lady mime artist. And we went to Amsterdam and I said to her, where do you want to go in Amsterdam? She said, I want to go to the red light district. I said, what, really? She said, I've heard about it. I want to see it. So I said, well, I've heard about it, and I wouldn't mind having a look. So we went there, up against the glass, hello, love. And we had a little look. We didn't do anything. We didn't go into the cafes and do any of that nonsense either, having some of those hash teas. We didn't do any of that. We were as innocent. The one thing I can tell you about Amsterdam was bloody bicycling. Cyclists. Vroom, vroom. They don't look. Vroom, vroom. They expect you to get out the way. If you don't get out the way, they'll hit you. It's like bloody hell. It's absolutely mad. You think our cycling is mad with the cyclists going around London. There's nothing to Amsterdam. And they've got these great big brutal bikes, massive great big bikes, and they're shooting along. There's you having a good leer at a nice window. Oh, hello, love, hello. You can't get to anything. Cyclists are zipping by like nobody's buggers. Anyway, time to end the show. Thank you so much. It's been lovely to see you, but I've got to go. Take care, look after yourself. I try and be here on Monday. Sorry about not being here Wednesday, but I was working hard. Have a lovely one. Take care, one and all. Be good to each other, and I'll let you know what happens with
lovely little babe.
With the book. If they're going to publish it, I'll find out. I'll have a word with him. In the meantime, take care. Have a good weekend. Bye for now. Bye bye.